concepts very well.
Perfect.
Excuse me. Hi. This is Manisha Gururaj. I have joined only
Yes, hi,
today.
Manisha.
I was not there on Monday. However, I want to know where have you shared the link for the recording?
Okay, I'll do one. Actually, we'll upload the link in the channel itself. Most probably by today itself, I'll talk to the team and they will, because see, I don't have your email IDs to share, to give access to the recordings. So I will do one thing, I'll talk to the team and just now after the session, I'll discuss with the team and they will forward you the details or they will send you the recordings.
Okay, but for Monday, I would also like to go through the Monday session. So that
No
link,
problem.
where can I find? You will send it
Yeah.
I mean, they will send it at the same time, right?
Yeah, they will send it at the
Okay.
same time. That's right.
Okay.
They will send
All
it
right.
at the same
Okay.
time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Great. Perfect. So, hi guys. So let me do a quick recap what we did in the session one. Just a recap. In the session one, I gave an overview about Salesforce CRM, what Salesforce CRM is about, what is a CRM solution, what is a Salesforce CRM, and what are the benefit of Salesforce CRM, Salesforce architecture, and how do we sign up for a Salesforce trial account. So that much we discussed in the first session because we did session one only on today's 7th. So we did the first session on the 5th of May, and that was the very first session. And this so we did only introduction part about Salesforce. We haven't started any customization, any implementation. We will be going to start the implementation from today onwards. Okay, everyone. So that if any one of you if you will be joining session one today, so don't worry, you haven't missed anything. You haven't missed much. Only just an introduction about Salesforce, and we'll send you the recordings for that. And you can those who have missed session one will send you the recording, and you can go through that. Still, okay, even like once you go through the recording, and if you face a difficulties in that, if you have any questions or any doubts, you can get back to me, or we can sort out the queries in the next session before we start the class. Okay, so the class, as we have mentioned earlier also, that the class will be 1 hour on that. This will be a 1 hour class. Basically, it's a 1 hour class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And out of that 1 hour, almost 50 minutes will be for the for the learning part, for the training, and the remaining 10 minutes, if you have any doubts or any questions, and answer. So, okay, and if you don't have any doubt, because see, today is the session 2, just an introduction we have done in session 1. We'll be doing some very small customization. So you might not have questions now, but as soon as we discuss the next topic, some advanced topics in Salesforce for the Salesforce admin module, then you might have questions. And that time we used okay. So then, if you have any questions, definitely I'll give answers to all of your questions if you have any. I would suggest you that you can make a note of the question so that if you have any doubts or any questions, you can ask your question before we start the session. Okay, everyone. The next, before we start the class, if you want, you can ask your questions. Not an issue. Okay, so those who have attended session 1, I would like to ask to all of them, did they registered for the Salesforce trial account? I think Parvati was there, Sanchita
Yes,
there,
yes, sir.
Manish.
I already had
Manisha.
one.
No, Manish
I
has
already
not.
had one
Yeah,
from before, so I'm just
okay, you
continuing.
already had one. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Great. Neil was there, I think. Naresh was also there in the session 1. I can see Prey, Manisha, and Derek. These are the 3 participants, those who will be joining session 1 today. Right. So for the rest of the participants, they if you haven't registered for the Salesforce account, please do that. I'll quickly give you a recap how you have done that. Oh, Naresh, you already have. Okay, perfect. Great. So if you already have the Salesforce account, you can use that account, not an issue. right? Okay, so I'll quickly do let me give you a quickly recap. How do you sign up for the Salesforce account if you haven't, if you didn't get chance to, like, it's not very complicated actually. What you have to do, you have to simply visit developer.salesforce.com. You have to visit this portal and then click on Browse Trials. When you click on Browse Trials, it will take you to the next option, which is says or Browse Trials. And if you scroll down, you can see an option called Developers Edition. Click on Get a Developer Edition, and you have to fill the information. That's all you have to do. You have to give your first name, last name, job title. Job title, you can give anything. It doesn't matter what job title you give. It's fine. Work email. See, work email, if you are a working professional, do not use your working email. Do not use your official email here. Use your personal email IDs if you have any. Reason, because there might already got some Salesforce account with the tied up with your official email. So do not use your official emails here. Always use your personal emails for the trial setup. Okay, everyone. Like in my case, I have used some different email account. Although my name is Sumit, but I'm using some dummy email here. And the reason why I'm using dummy email, because, okay, one thing, I'm using a dummy email, but I have access to that. Okay, I have access to this dummy email also. For example, you can see I'm using here shivam.shukla sfdc knp3. I have access to that email account. See this. And here it is. So I have access to that email account. And so that, because when Salesforce set up the account, Salesforce will send an email to us, registration email. See this. I received an email. Here it is. So this I have already did in the last session. So I just fill up the details. You have to check the check boxes. I'm not a robot, and click on sign me up. So what Salesforce will do, Salesforce will set up an account for you. Salesforce will set up Salesforce will set up the whole environment for you. In that environment, the agent force will be installed and the data cloud will be configured. It's already there. But obviously, we are not going to talk about the agent force and data cloud, because they are two different things which has nothing to do with the Salesforce admin right now. In future, you might be required that, but right now it is not needed, right? So sign me up, and once you click on sign me up, then what happens? Salesforce will set up an environment for you. Okay, one thing I would like to discuss here. One thing I would like to discuss here. I'll just open an online notepad. And let's say, okay, I think I have to add a new one. I'll give this name as SFDC 9 PM class. Right. What I would like to discuss here is that Salesforce is what? Salesforce is a cloud solution. It's a cloud solution. It's a CRM solution on cloud. Right. Salesforce. What exactly a cloud solution? Cloud solution means everything will be on cloud. We don't need to download and install anything with us for the Salesforce. If you want to use Salesforce, we have to simply visit www.salesforce.com, or we can visit login.salesforce.com. Okay, we can simply visit login.salesforce.com, and then we can log in. Like, if we have already got a credential, so we can simply visit login.salesforce.com, enter our username and password, and click on login button. Right. So as you can see, like this is here also I have done the same way. I already registered an account in the last session. I got the credentials, username. When we click on the button for the verification, we set the password. I got the credentials, username and password, and from next time onwards, I can directly visit login.salesforce.com and basically log in onto my Salesforce account. Okay, everyone. Now, I just want to discuss few things about Salesforce. First of all, Salesforce, it works on two models, Saas and PaaS. So anyone, any idea about this? What is Saas and what is PaaS? Have you heard about this thing, Saas and PaaS?
Yeah, SaaS is software as a service, and PaaS is a platform as a service.
Okay, so software as a service, let me note it down, and PaaS is platform as a service. Any idea about it? What is software as a service and what is platform as a service? Anyone? Any idea about this? Software as a service and platform as a service? Like, even if you have any guess also, you can do that, not an issue. You can give your guess, like you can try and hit also, not an issue. You can try. If you know anything about this, you can let me know, not an issue. And also, have you ever used this Saas and PaaS? Anyone? No one?
No.
No? Okay. And what if I say that we use this on regular basis?
Like software as a service is Zoom might be a software as a service.
That's right. So that's right. Definitely. See, software as a service means like a prepaid.
Yeah.
Simple. It's a prepaid software. Prepaid software, or you can say prepaid means, or I say pre-configured actually. Let's say pre-configured.
No, but are we talking specifically about Salesforce or in general software as a service and platform?
Any software.
Okay.
See, even in Salesforce also we have these two things: software as a service and platform as a service. And I'll tell you why I'm saying so. When we say pre-configure, let's say Zoom, like one of you mentioned, Zoom is there, WhatsApp is there, okay, and let's say Facebook is there. Okay, let's suppose you want to chat with your friends, you want to chat with your friends or with your family members. What will you do? We simply open Play Store, download WhatsApp, and configure and start using this. That's right. Or if you want to play any games, you can download games. If you want to use any software, you can go online, download a software, and you can use those softwares. Sometimes those softwares might be free, or sometimes it might be paid. For example, in the Apple phones or Apple devices, most of the applications will be paid. But like in Play Store, the same application might be free or it's freely available. But if you want some advanced features, some more features, more functionalities into that, then that will be we have to pay a cost for that. Is that clear, everyone? But it's a prepaid service, pre-configured prepaid service. But let's say if I am into an online training business, let me give you an example here. Let's suppose I'm into an online training business and my company name is, let's say, ABC AB Tech. Let's suppose my company name is AI Tech, for example. That's my company name, AI Tech. What I did, I opened Play Store and I looked for an application available for AI Tech, but I did not find any application. There is no app available for AI Tech. What should I do then? What do you think? Anyone? Found any application? If there is no default application available on the Play Store or anywhere, like on the Play Store or the App Store, then what to do? Or if you want a customized application for your business, what will you do?
We have to develop one app then, if there are nothing available.
We have to develop one. Right, we have to develop one. So if I am an owner of a company, obviously I don't know how to develop any software, then what we do? Either we hire a developer or we outsource our requirement. Get it? So basically what we have to do, we need to develop a custom application. Develop a custom application. Am I right, everyone? Custom application. Now, when you build a custom application, can you add features by yourself into that? Okay, one more thing. The applications which you can see here, the pre-configured application, are they fully customizable? Yeah. So are they fully customizable? For example,
features are customizable.
Right. For example, if we take an example of WhatsApp, can we change the WhatsApp logo? Is that possible to change the logo of the WhatsApp? We can't. Can we add new features into WhatsApp? We can't. But any application which we design or develop, or we outsource the requirement and if any application has been built by the developers, we hire someone to build an application, so we can basically we can design an application, or we can tell them to build an application as per our requirement, and we can add our own we can add the own features into that application. That's right. That is possible by using that comes under platform as a service. So what is the platform as a service? Platform as a service means it provides a platform where the developers or the administrators or the experts, they can build a custom solution as per the requirement. Is that clear, everyone? Any questions still here? Right. Now the question is, why are we talking about in Salesforce this term? Like, is it really relevant with the? It is relevant. Okay. It is really relevant. Why? I'm saying so. Why it is relevant? I'll tell you. If I open Salesforce, and you can see these 9 dots here, this section is called App Launcher. What we call it as an App Launcher. When you click on App Launcher, you can see some applications. Did we configure these applications by ourselves? We didn't do anything. We only registered right now. We did not configure anything. We did not build any solution. We did not install any application. These all are by default available. So in Salesforce, there are three core functional areas in Salesforce. First is marketing, which is to handle all the marketing activities. Second is sales, to handle all the sales activities. And then we have service to handle all the service activities. You can say service activities, right? These are the core functional areas. But if I'm into, if I need a custom solution for my company, let's suppose, as I mentioned that we are into online training business and we need a solution for our company, and there is no app available, there is no application available for our company. Then what do we do? With the help of the platform, by using the features available in the Salesforce, we can build a custom solution. So these all are the existing applications. As you can see, when we sign up for a Salesforce account, when we register for a Salesforce account, whether paid version or the trial account, these three applications I found it here. Apart from this, Salesforce also offers the clouds. You might have, we used to have mainly 3 clouds. We used to have marketing cloud, sales cloud, and service cloud. When we say clouds, cloud means, see, right now in this application, in this platform, you can see all the 3 applications. But if we say marketing cloud, it is dedicated for the marketing activities. Sales cloud only dedicated to the marketing activities. We cannot perform any other operations into that. Service cloud only for the service activities. But the account which we are using right now, the subscription we are using right now, although it's a trial account, in this we have, you can say we have the features from all the 3 clouds, but they are not. It is not a full-fledged version. It is not a full-fledged account. Reason? It contains everything. That's why we cannot include everything into one instance. If we do that, then it becomes very bulky, and obviously, Salesforce, the company like Salesforce, a big organization, they are not going to offer anything of free of cost. No? Like, just imagine if they give everything free of cost, marketing cloud also, service cloud also, sales cloud also, then and everything is available freely, then use their paid version and how they are going to make money. So what they did, this trial account, it contains a small portion from all the three of them. But anybody who wants a dedicated services from the sales, service, and marketing, they have to go for the cloud thing: sales cloud, service cloud, and marketing cloud. So I was saying that these are the core functional areas. But I need a solution for my online training business, or I am going to, let's suppose, what's happening? We used to outsource the resources. Basically what we used to do, if any company, they required some resources for the project, we used to provide resources to them. Like these days, this is also happening a lot. For example, if I own a company, I hire new employees on my payroll, and then the other companies, those who are looking for the resources, I put my resources on that. I just put my resources on that company's system. They will work on their project, but I will be paying their salaries. Obviously, maybe like for example, let's give you an example. If I am giving a salary, then like if I'm paying them, let's say 50,000 a month, maybe I'm charging 70,000 for them from that company, but they will be working on my payroll, not on that company payroll. So basically, I need an application for managed recruitment activities, recruitment operations to hire new employees and manage them. So we don't have the default applications available in Salesforce. So what do we do? What do we need to do now? We need to build a custom solution. To build an application, we need services, we need features, we need functionalities. So Salesforce will provide the features and the functionalities to build a custom solution, and that comes under platform as a service. I hope you got I hope all of you understood that how the SaaS and PaaS is relevant in the Salesforce. Is that clear, everyone? Any question, any queries, any doubts till so far? You can ask. No questions, guys? Perfect, great. Right, so this is the SaaS. Okay, one thing, all of you are familiar with the database. Let's say if I talk about relational database, let's say SQL Server or Oracle, SQL Server, Oracle.
I'm not from IT background, so I might not understand.
Yeah, even I don't know.
Right.
The terminology.
So you have worked, and any one of you have worked with, like all of you have worked with SQL relational database like SQL Server and Oracle, any relational database. Let's suppose I just wanted to store some information into that. So what I need to do now, first of all, we need to register a database. We need to create a new database. What will happen after a database? Within the database, what do we do? Can we directly add records into the database? Is that possible? Can I add a record into the database? Answer, not possible. We can't add records into the database. Why we can't add records into the database? We need to create tables. Within tables, what we have to do? We need to add fields. And then finally, once we have the fields, then only we can create records. Then only we can add records. Okay, everyone. Those who are not familiar with the database, they might be comfortable with the Excel. In Excel, what do we do? First of all, we create a workbook, Excel workbook. In Excel workbook, we used to create worksheets. We used to create sheets, Excel worksheets. Within sheets, we used to label the columns. We used to add the column labels or column headings. Okay, column headings. So what do? We used to say we add columns, and then finally what we do? We used to insert records into that. Okay, so we used to add records into that. Right, we used to add records into that. So so why this? So this is the, see, if you just look at the flow, we have a database, then tables, then fields, then records. In same manner, we have workbook in Excel, then sheet, then column, then record. The flow is almost same. Right, everyone? The flow is almost same. Only the terminology is different. So what's the how it is relevant to the Salesforce? Because in Salesforce, okay, before I move to the Salesforce, have you worked with the traditional softwares? Anyone? Traditional softwares. In traditional softwares, what we used to do? We used to, first of all, the first step is we used to set up a server On the server, what we do on server, we install a software. Okay, we install a software. Then we used to configure database. Then what we do, we used to establish a connection between application and database. We used to establish a connectivity between application and database. We used to establish a connection between application and database. This we used to do this application and database. Okay, everyone.
You were not audible.
Is that so? Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I was asking to you that we'll be doing, will we establish a connection between application and database, like set up a server, install a software, and then what we do, we install the connectivity, we set up the connection between application and the database. That's a traditional software, right? But when it comes to Salesforce, the best part about Salesforce is we do not need to set up any software, like no need to install anything. It's a cloud solution. You don't need to install any software, and you do not need to install any database also. So now the question is, if there is no database, then where actually the data gets stored? So the database will be managed by Salesforce itself. All that application and the database will be installed on the, or it would be configured on the Salesforce server. And whenever we want to use, we simply log in onto Salesforce account and we can start using our application. And whatever operations we'll be doing in the front end, those those customizations, or if you are adding records, or if you are getting records or updating records, those changes will get reflect in the backend database. So who is managing the database? Salesforce will be managing the database. What we will be doing actually, what we will be doing, we will be only managing the application. We only manage the front end, the backend database, the connectivity between the database and the application. We used to set up an application, or we used to only build an application. We don't set up any database. Database will be automatically configured by Salesforce. Salesforce take care of that. Salesforce will manage that. Is it clear, everyone? We will be free from that. And that's the, okay, and the Salesforce will be charging money for that thing. So what Salesforce will be doing actually, Salesforce will be charging money for what? For managing your application for you, for managing the database for you, to manage the application and the connectivity between the application and the database, to store your application, your information on their server. Salesforce will be charging money for that. This is how the Salesforce will be making money. Is that clear, everyone? Yes. That's a traditional software. Now, I was talking about this thing, like for example, if we talk about in Salesforce, the very first step is we used to deal with the applications. We used to create applications or use existing applications. For example, like this sales. This is an application. Okay, this is an application. Within application, we used to create objects. Like these are objects, like opportunity is an object, lead is an object, account is an object, contact is an object. Or you can consider object will be equivalent to the tables in a database. Within objects, we used to add fields. For example, let me close this. For example, if I open a lead object, this is an object, sales is an application, lead is an object. I click on new button. When I click on new button, a form will appear. Let's suppose if we skip the fields, just imagine you got a form, but no fields, only like there will be no proper labeling, no field labels. Then how will you identify, how will you decide that in which field, what information need to be added? Is that possible? Will it be possible for you to figure it out that what information need to be entered into this if there will be no labelings? Or can you imagine any table in a database? Can you imagine? Okay. Or let's suppose if you go to Excel. Okay, I'll take an example of Excel itself because we are very comfortable with the Excel. So let's suppose if I open an Excel sheet, and the challenge here is, if I open an Excel sheet, let's suppose I open an Excel sheet. Now in this, I just open this Excel sheet, and now how do you get to know? I ask you to, you have to add the, like for example, I ask you that you have to store the student information. What I did, I asked you that you have to store the student information. Clear, everyone? But what information need to be added in column 1? What to add in this column? What to add in this column? Or let's suppose I add here number 1. Right, number 1, Sam, Delhi. Mike, Mumbai. Number 2, Peter. Number 3, Chennai. Is it a correct data? Is this will be a correct data? And if it is not, why it is not correct? What's the issue with this?
It has different data types. One has number, one has letters. It's not properly arranged.
Yes, it's not a proper organized data. That's the issue. The data is not organized. So, but see, the thing is, obviously, I know that the data is not organized. Okay, I know that the data is not organized, but my question is, see, let's suppose you assign this task to me that I need to add a record. I need to create a sheet, and in this sheet, I need to manage the data. I did that, but you did not mention anything that you did not mention that in which column you need to add what. How do you manage that? How do we maintain that?
By giving name to the fields, I guess.
Right, by giving name to the fields, proper names. Okay, by giving name to the fields. Labels, actually, we can label them properly. What do? We used to say insert one row above. We can say serial number, name, and here city. So once we have the proper labeling, it will be very easy to understand. It will be very easy to maintain them. Clear, everyone? Then it will be very easy to manage this. So what do we do now? Once we have this, so we can easily arrange the data. We can easily store the data in that format. So same thing I was talking about, that this is a new lead object, but it's a new lead. We are adding a new lead, but we did not add any, we did not give any labels, no labels, nothing, only the fields, only this blank fields. Then how do we identify, how do we decide that what to add in which field? Then we might not be clear about it. No? We will not be very much clear what information need to be added in what field. So what do we do then? That's why the field is important. The labeling is very important. So same thing we do in the Salesforce also. We used to add fields, and once we have the fields, then we can insert records. Now, if I'll cancel this and I'll just click on list view, and I'll show you. I'll click here all. See this all open leads, and you can see the records here. See, record number 1, there are total 15 records. Record number 1, record number 10, record number 11. How many records we got here? We got 15 records here. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, these all are 15 dummy records. We can add or we can delete those records. These are dummy records. I hope this much is clear to all of you, right? Now, when we talk about, so now what happens, see why I did this. So why I'm talking about all these things, because now from here onwards, you will be dealing with this applications, object, fields, and records. But the interesting part is I am looking at it as an application, but Salesforce will consider it as a database in backend. I am considering them as an object, like opportunity is an object, lead is an object, file account is an object, contact is an object. But in backend, Salesforce will consider them as tables. When I open this, click on new, so these are fields, not an issue, and the record means records. So we have the fields and we have records. So terminologies are very important, and as a Salesforce BA, okay, as a Salesforce BA, it might be your responsibility to, okay, as a BA, as a Salesforce business analyst, it might be a responsibility of a BA. It's a responsibility of a BA to prepare the documentation, to prepare the document, to create the document, and share those documents with the development team or to the admin team. And what they will do, based on your based on your document, they will build a solution. So in the document also, we have to use this terminology. Like we have to we have to do it like this, that we have to build an application, or the client is looking for an application, this and this application, this will be the application name, this will be the application API name, or the object API name, or object label, field API name. These all are the terminologies. Clear, everyone? Fine. Now in Salesforce, we have two types of application. One is standard and one is custom. Standard, as you can see, we have already discussed about it. Standard means pre-configured, which is already defined by Salesforce. So standard applications, custom application, standard object, custom object, standard field, custom field. But there's a difference. See, the application which you can see right now, sales application, this is a standard application because this is already configured by Salesforce. If I try to delete this application, I can't do that. I won't be able to delete this application if I want. Right? We won't be able to delete this application. Okay, everyone. It is not possible to delete this application. What about these objects? We can't modify these objects. Modify means if I want to change the label for this object, I can't do that. I'm not allowed to. We are not allowed to do that because these all are standard objects, and anything which is standard, which is pre-configured by Salesforce, we can only use them, but we cannot modify them. For example, WhatsApp, you cannot change the logo, you cannot change the color, you cannot add any additional features into that, right? Whatever options will be there for the customization, you can only use those options to customize it, but it is not possible to change the backend functionality for that. We can't do that. Clear, everyone? Opportunity like custom object, standard objects. But when we say standard custom application, for example, I say custom applications or custom objects or custom fields, they are fully customizable. Like we can create them anytime, we can delete them anytime. We can create the object anytime, we can delete the objects anytime. We can create the fields anytime, we can delete the fields anytime. Not an issue. It's anything which is custom can be we can remove them very easily because they are customizable. They will be customized. We customize them, or the developers customize them, or the admin customize them. See, both the admin and the developers, they are capable enough to build a custom application, custom object, custom field. They know about this. But the developers, they perform more operation. Basically, they do some advanced customization. They are supposed where the coding will be involved, like integrations, right? They used to perform integrations. They used to write hard codings, hard coded Apex classes or triggers, the automation things, or integrations or Lightning Web components. That's their job. But as an administrator, our job is to mainly our responsibilities is to create an application, customize an existing application, set up automation rules. Both admin and developers can set up an automation rules. Both admin and developers, they can generate reports. And basically, the major responsibilities of administrator is to register new users, to add new users, to give them permissions, what level of access do they have, to allow basically the users, what they can do, the administrators basically, they can generate reports, they can set up automation rules, right? And data management operations like to manage the data, to manage the database, backing up data. That is the core responsibility of a Salesforce administrator. And as a BA role also, as a BA also, he will be also doing the same similar thing. But yes, BA will be mainly focused on the documentation part, like client requirement gathering. That will be done by the Salesforce business analyst as a BA. Right, everyone? Perfect. So this is the difference between the standard and the custom. So how are we going to start? We'll be starting with the standard application, because the reason why we'll be starting with the standard application, because we need to understand, we should know the standard process. See, we have if I talk about standard application like marketing. Right. So what we are doing, we'll be starting with the marketing application. In marketing application, we'll be going to learn how do we build, how do we create campaigns, how do we create, how do we generate leads, what are the different ways to capture leads. Can we capture lead directly from the external users? Like, can we capture lead directly from the website? Is that possible? Right, capturing leads, that comes under marketing. Then how do we convert a lead into an opportunity? Lead conversion, that we are going to discuss. Lead conversion, how the lead conversion take place, right? That we are going to discuss. And we'll also talk about, once we convert a lead, then we'll enter into the sales functional area. In the sales functional area, we'll see the relationship between the account, contact, and opportunities. And when we say account, contact, and opportunities, so how they're connected to each other, and the conversion of an opportunity. There are different sales pipeline. There are the different sales pipelines, different stages in the sales pipeline. So we'll talk about those stages and how do we convert from one stage to another. How do we change the stage? That we'll discuss in opportunity. And once deal will be cracked, once business will be completed, once the business will be done, then what happened? We need to work. We need to register new. We need to deal with the cases, because obviously the cases mean the issues raised by the customers, the issues raised by the clients. If they are using our services and if they have some issues, what they will do then? They will definitely, if they will be facing a problem, if they got a problem or some issues, what they will do then? They will register a complaint to us. They will reach out to us. They will register complaints. That's right. They will raise an issue. So how do we handle those issues? How do we manage those issues? So that we are going to discuss in this in this training. Once we complete that, the standard functionalities of the standard operations. So we are going to start with a campaign. From campaign, we got leads, then we talk about lead conversion. See, I'm just using the terminologies, and we are going to discuss all these terminologies. Lead conversion. When we do lead conversion, we have account, contact, opportunity. We'll talk about these things: lead, contact, opportunity. Right, and then how do we generate new cases? That also we talk about. How do we provide solution? How do we deal with the cases? How do we provide solutions to them? This is all our internal process. This is all a standard business process. But so this is all a standard business process. So once we complete the standard business process, then we need to talk about how do we build a custom solution, or how do we build custom application. Now, as a Salesforce admin, obviously, this is not in our primary role as a Salesforce administrator, but I would suggest everybody, I would suggest everybody who wants to make their career as a Salesforce admin or a BA, basically in Salesforce. In short, anybody who wants to make a career as Salesforce, they should know the standard functionalities, the connectivity between the applications and objects. They should know all these terminologies. Reason, we never know that we might need to deal only with the standard application. Even though we have to do customizations, see, as I mentioned, that standard application, they are not, we can't delete them. We cannot change their labels. But if I want to add some new features into that, for example, you can see, I'll tell you that. For example, this is an opportunity, this is a lead object. In the lead object, when I click on new button, I can see the fields, but you can see I got a mobile and phone. There is no there is no field available for WhatsApp number to track WhatsApp number. But if I want, I can do that. We can add that field. So we can add a new custom field, but we cannot customize the existing standard field for standard. Okay, we cannot modify the existing standard fields. Okay, everyone. So any field which the fields which are already configured by the sales for the standard fields, we can't modify them, we can't customize them. But anything which is the one we configure that we can easily customize that. Is that clear? So that we need to will be going to see. So yeah, and apart from that, we have to talk about the custom applications also. How do we build custom solutions, custom applications? And in this, we'll be taking an example of recruitment application. We have to build a recruitment application. This is a custom application, and we'll do step-by-step implementation. Custom application means we have to build a full-fledged application from the scratch, and that's what we are going to discuss. Okay, everyone, that's what we'll be going to discuss. It will be a full-fledged application we'll be going to configure. And by the end of this admin training, you will be able to build a custom application by yourself. So once we complete half of the 50% of the training, I will be assigning a project to you. I will share the requirement, and you need to prepare. You need to prepare that application by yourself. I will definitely guide you with that. I'll give my guidance to you, but you have to build a custom application by yourself. You need to I'll tell you the requirements. So you need to identify the requirements and build a custom application as per the requirement. Okay, everyone. I hope it is clear to all of you. So yeah, so I'll stop it here for the day. So anyone, do you have any questions or any